Hello everyone, this is class 49 on subject income tax. In today's class we are going to cover some basic concepts of 5th unit assessment of firm. As we know, partnership is a relationship between two or more partners who have agreed to share profits of the business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. These are the partners who form the partnership firm, and the individual person in it is called as partner. We are going to see 10 important features of partnership firm. First one is separate tax entity. As you all have studied in accounting theory subject, one important postulate called entity postulate. That means a firm or a business organization, whether it is sole trading concern, partnership firm, LLP or a company, is treated separately from its owner. Therefore, a partnership firm has a separate legal tax entity that is compared to its owner. Therefore, the first feature is the firm has a separate tax entity. The partnership firm has to pay a separate tax on the profits earned by partnership firm, wherein a partner individually has to pay a separate tax based on his or her individual income from the partnership firm. Second important feature of partnership is a partnership deed. Every partnership firm must evidence a partnership deed. In partnership deed, certain important rules regarding running of the partnership firm are prescribed, such as the profit sharing ratio, who is going to be the working partner, who is going to be the non-working partner, and how the business is going to be managed by all these partners throughout the year. One important point in the partnership deed is any amendments or any changes that are made in the partnership agreement should be mentioned in the partnership deed, as and how the changes occurs in the partnership agreement. Next is rate of tax. Rate of tax for partnership firm is classified into two. One is if the income of partnership firm is below 1 crore and if the income of partnership firm is above 1 crore. So, if the income of partnership firm is below 1 crore rupees, then it is taxed at 30% and surcharged at 12% of income tax. So, if the total income exceeds 1 crore rupees, then it is taken at 30% plus surcharge plus 4% of income tax on tax and surcharge. Thus, the effective rate of tax is 31.20 if the total turnover is, total income of the firm is below 1 crore rupees, and if the income of the partnership firm exceeds 1 crore rupees, then the tax that is applicable for the partnership firm is at 34.944%. I hope this point is clear. Rate of tax, if the income is below 1 crore rupees, then it is taxed at 31.20%, and if the income exceeds 1 crore rupees, then it is taxed at 34.944%. Coming to next point, limited liability partnership. In limited liability partnership has both the features of partnership firm as well as company. It enjoys all the benefits that the partners enjoy in the partnership firm, plus their investment of capital or their liability towards the loss of the partnership firm is limited only up to the amount they have invested, like it happens in case of companies. Therefore, limited liability partnership carries features of both a company as well as partnership firm. Coming to next, types of partners. There are two types of partners, working partner and non-working partner. Working partner means an individual who is actively engaged in conducting the affairs of partnership firm. Non-working partner means who is not actively engaged in the day-to-day activities or the conduct of affairs of the partnership firm is known as non-working partner. Coming to next, remuneration to working partners. When we are computing total income, remuneration, whether it is in the form of salary, bonus or commission, it is allowed to be paid only to the working partner. Therefore, the remuneration to the working partner is calculated as specified in section 40, subsection B, or the remuneration whichever is agreed, whichever is less. This sixth point, that is remuneration to working partner, is discussed later on in detail. Let us move to the next point, seventh one, remuneration to partners under section 40 subsection B. As I told you, remuneration only to working partner paid is considered while computing the income from partnership firm, wherein the remuneration is not allowed to be paid to non-working partner. Next, interest on capital is levied or chargeable at 12%. If interest on capital is paid above 12%, then any amount which is paid excess to the 12% is disallowable. Next is book profit. How book profit is calculated, that also will be shown after discussing these 10 points. Book profit means the net profit as shown in the P&L account as per section 28 to section 44D, before allowing for the for interest on capital and remuneration. This point, that is book profit, will be discussed later on, that is how book profit is computed. Coming to next point, treatment of rent paid to the owner. Any rent paid to the partner for hiring the building which is belonging to the partner is allowed. Suppose there are three partners A, B and C. We are running the partnership firm in the building of A. So the partnership firm is liable to pay the rent to A, because to run the activities of the partnership firm we are using the building of A. So any rent that is paid to partner for using his building for the partnership firm, the rent paid amount is allowable. But the rent paid to the partner in excess of fair rent should be disallowed. Suppose the fair rent in that area is 12,000 rupees, but we are paying 15,000 rupees rent to the partner A for hiring his building. So what is the excess amount of rent that we are paying to him? It is 3,000 rupees. So 3,000 rupees, which is excess than the fair rent, should be disallowed. Now coming to next, remuneration to partners. Here we are discussing sixth point. There are certain rules that we need to understand when we are computing remuneration to partner under section 40 subsection B. First is, remuneration should be paid only to a working partner. As we have discussed earlier, remuneration to non-working partner is disallowed. Remuneration must be authorized by the partnership deed. That is, what remuneration, salary, bonus, commission that you are going to pay to the partner must be authorized, must be mentioned in the partnership deed. Only then you can pay the remuneration to partner and it is allowable from tax point of view. Next, remuneration should not pertain to period prior to partnership deed. That is, before incorporation of the partnership deed, if you have paid any remuneration to a partner, then it is not allowable. Remuneration should not exceed the permissible limit stated in section 40 subsection B. So the remuneration that you are paying should not exceed the prescribed limit under section 40 subsection B. And it is calculated as, if the book profit is negative, if it is loss, then you can pay remuneration up to 1,50,000. In case of profit which is positive, then on first 3 lakh of profit you can pay 1,50,000. On remaining balance of profit you can pay 90% of book profit. Let me explain this to you. Suppose a firm has earned a profit of rupees 5 lakh. So on first 3 lakh of rupees, how much remuneration that can be paid? 1,50,000. 5 lakh is the profit. On 3 lakh you can pay 1,50,000. Remaining balance is 2 lakh. On 2 lakh, 90% of the book profit, whichever is more. And this amount is compared with the actual amount that is paid, and whichever is less is taken as remuneration paid to the working partner. I think you are getting confused at this point, but when we solve the sum, you will understand it in a better manner. So right now you just understand that if the profit is negative, that if there is a loss, then rupees 1,50,000. In case the profit it is positive, then on first 3 lakh 1,50,000 or 90% of book profit, whichever is more, and this amount is compared with the actual remuneration paid, whichever is less. Let us now see how the book profit is computed. We'll see this on one single page. How book profit is computed. This is the format how the book profit of a firm can be calculated. 1. That is net profit as per profit and loss account. You have to take net profit as per P&L account. Then you have to add all the inadmissible expenses debited to P&L account. Means all the expenses that are disallowed but they are debited to profit and loss account are to be added. If there is any interest on capital in excess of 12%, that has to be added because that is disallowed. Interest paid to any partner on his capital up to 12% is allowable, excess to that is disallowable. So that becomes disallowable expenses which has to be added back. Then we get the total, that is net profit. When we add all disallowable expenses as well as disallowable interest, we get a total figure. In this total figure, we have to deduct inadmissible expenses which are not debited to P&L account. Sorry, it is not inadmissible, it has to be admissible expenses which are not debited to P&L account. Then it comes to income chargeable under other heads and exempted income credited to P&L account. Then you have to add remuneration to partners given in P&L account. Actually, remuneration paid to working partner under section 40 subsection B is allowable, but the remuneration which is paid by the partnership firm has to be added back, and then the actual remuneration has to be calculated. That is the reason we have to first add the remuneration which is paid to the partner. Thus, this is how we get the book profit. This is format up to computation of book profit. I will explain this to you further also, that is how to compute total income of the partnership firm. After computing book profit, then you have to calculate, then you have to compute remuneration to the working partner under section 40B, and that amount has to be deducted. And when we deduct this amount, we get income from business or profession. After getting income from business or profession, we have to add back income from other heads. Thus we get the gross total income. Less we have to deduct the deductions under section 80G, 80GGA, etc. And then we get the total income of the partnership firm. So net profit as per profit and loss account, add all inadmissible expenses or disallowed expenses which are debited to profit and loss account, add interest on capital in excess of 12%, then we get the total amount, less inadmissible expenses not debited to P&L account, less income chargeable under other head and exempted income credited to P&L account, add remuneration to partners given in P&L account, then we get the book profit, less remuneration to working partner under section 40 subsection B. Thus we get the income from business or profession, add income from other heads, thus we get the gross total income, then less deduction under section 40G, GGA, etc. Then we get a total income. This is how the book profit of a firm is computed. In next class we will see simple sums on assessment of or computation of book profit of the firm.